Okay. Hello, good morning. I'm a little bit late. Let me see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm a little bit late. I apologize. I am running in a million directions at once because I have tapped into my inner gifts, my best ideas. I have put my money where my mouth is and invested in myself. And it's been a really amazing journey since I began this journey a few years ago. Truthfully, I think it was during COVID because I was home from teaching school and began writing a book for my students. It was kind of a prescription, an academic intervention is what it really is in teacher talk. So this philosophy of life about improving ourselves and growing and education and how it, like the universe, I believe, and I know research has shown that if you are not learning something, if you're not practicing something that you personally are inspired to do, motivated to do, want to do, if you're not doing that, then your brain is kind of going to get some atrophy like an old car, and it's going to start rusting and it's not really going to work very well. I mean, kind of obvious, right? And in the same way, the social media has made our brains kind of work in a different way. It's speeding them up. It's making them very surface level and shallow. And that's something that I think is really hurting us as a humanity and as a people. You know, I'm trying to get myself in my camera. So I'm here again in this behind the scenes because we have to get to some common ground, okay? Some level of understanding between all of us in order to live together in peace. That's a philosophical thing. I know it's from the Enlightenment. It's back 1515. It's a whole other project that I did about 10 years ago when I moved to Panama and attempted this. So I attempted this dream of mine 10 years ago when, long story, I had to go to Panama and somebody's saying hi. I'm talking about taking things that happen in your life and remixing them like they do in music. You know, they take a song and somebody picks it up and they're like, that's a great beat, but let me add what I have and let me adapt that. Let me make that part of me, right? And it makes it better. But you have to really stay true to your core and to your original messaging because you have to stay you. You can't shift into whatever it was that you liked. I mean, some stuff, yeah, sure, it's okay on a surface level, but deep philosophical stuff. And that's what I realized as a high school teacher when I'm teaching these kinds of skills. They're formulas, they're processes, it's a method. It's like a machine. And when I'm teaching these processes, I've seen students get stumbled, get, kind of diverted off task and get distracted by this other stuff that then shifts off the process. So I'm here to myth bust a few things. And I'm really looking for people who are willing to kind of come on a self-growth journey because it's kind of hard. You kind of have to put your own ego aside and say, yeah, maybe I should do something different because this isn't really working for me. That's a check yourself kind of moment, which is really hard for people to do. So somebody said they subscribed. Sarana, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Share this with your friends because I have a very unique solution. I think it's a solution. This is the testing phase. And this is what I really want to get at this nitty gritty about. And so myth busting about about self-growth, about these philosophies of life. And that I think that we have to kind of just talk with respect and with truth ourselves, respect ourselves and be honest with ourselves. I think that's the beginning. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Saran. I appreciate you for saying that, because your name and what you call people is a huge place to start talking about respect. And that's a great place to start. So thanks for telling me that. And let's go into the next level of this. I'm going to turn this around and see, because I want you to see kind of my process charts and what's going on. Okay. Awesome. Follow me along. Here we go. Because I am in the morning here writing and doing digital media arts. This is a garden that I am using for creative space. So if you are in Puerto Rico, I invite you to come visit with me in my garden space. And I'm finally getting to be able to set up my classroom as it's turning into, which is just funny, because I really thought I was coming to Puerto Rico to remix my life, being creative, having fun, enjoying culture here, which of course is the reason why I came here, frankly. Excuse me. And so let's get to this. I don't want to show too much. I kind of am. If you please, I need tech help. If you like social media, if you like this kind of presentation that I'm talking about, I really need help on the tech side. I am an old teacher. So now for the moment here, I'm going to again kind of switch this around, because I have really important information that I want to get out to the world. Okay. And it starts with, I started myth busting in this on the intro, but now I really want to get into what this is about, because when I came to Puerto Rico, I really embraced the facts. This has been pretty much agreed to as being a concept that so many people agree to, is that, now I'm like, where was I going? The facts. Oh, different types of intelligences. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the second part of this. Different types of intelligences. Here we go. Page 1. Everybody is smart. Okay? Everybody is smart. We're smart with different types of intelligences. Some people like being outside in nature, and that's where should be farmers, if that's stuff they like, fishermen and farmers, because they really thrive. It really makes them excited. That's their vibe for their best life. Other people are very, scientifically the mathematics side of this, where you want to work in the pharmaceutical industry and be a lab scientist and really get into that kind of life-saving bioscience tech stuff. That's really what you should be doing in your life, because that's really going to make you fulfilled. Okay. And schools, I admit it, not all the schools did this kind of matching to people's intelligence types when we were in high school trying to figure out what to do with ourselves as we were growing. And then frankly, our hormones were kind of out of whack, or they are out of whack. If you're 20 years old and you're watching me, please subscribe. I need your help. Okay. Especially young people. I was a high school teacher. I'm missing that vibe of this young generation, because I have important information that I really want to talk about, and it's different types of intelligences. And when I decided to put my money where my mouth was and do this existential philosophical kind of thinking, I have come up with an amazing tool I want us to be able to use. Okay, so as I'm getting here, okay, this remixing what we have. Okay, this is the Best Life Remix Kit. These are really simple instructions, or I would even call them protocols, kind of the process that I developed to help people remix their lives. Okay. Nobel Peace Center has put together their protocols of how to find peace. And I went on vacation and was up at the Arctic Circle because I love the world, the earth. I'm fascinated by it, and the math side of this is now becoming an art I didn't really embrace before, which is me being new on this philosophical journey that I'm on, right? So I get the book of how to make peace in the world. And I was like kind of freaked out because, yeah, it's what I really want in the world. And here's the guide, 8 things to do. And it comes to this idea, and now I'm going to turn this around. No, now I'm going to go off the camera. It comes to this idea that we need to talk to each other because dialogue creates rich and safe and peaceful relationships. That's quoting exactly what it does and why we need to do it. And so it's taken me a little bit of time, but I had to think about how to do this, especially in my new garden and in my new lifestyle, because I'm tired of this headache that I'm having. And so, yes, I'm back to, and I'll do this fairly short. I realize how long I've been talking. Thanks for coming along with me. Subscribe. Please come back. Please share this with people, because we really have to have this kind of check-in with your high school. This time I'm going to say this is my English teacher perspective of critical thinking, and this idea that we have to kind of do a little bit of adjusting on our thinking. And so I want to talk about perspective. And in art is the best way that I'm going to use this, because it's how deep do you think about something? Are you doing 2D thinking, which is kind of flat and shallow? It's black and white. Or are you doing a little bit more dimensional type of thinking with a specific focal point of what you're trying to accomplish? That's more thinking in here, more input, right? And what I put over here, brain power. And yes, this is me having a moment from my high school days. I don't always have power. I live here in Puerto Rico, but I love that. It was part of me being off grid. In my lifestyle, I wanted to be like this. And so I could be upset about being without power, or I'm like, yeah, no, let me focus on this. I decided I was okay to be without power for a little bit. And frankly, it gives me time to think even deeper into this sort of continuum of the time, what's happened in the past, what's happening in the future, in a kind of really weird 4D perspective, which is kind of weird. I admit it. It's new to me. It's existential thinking. It's philosophical. So yeah, let's just kind of think about how much time and effort are you putting into your thinking. This is levels of thinking. And it's not so much faster thinking. If anything, it's slower thinking, more deep. Okay, the next one here, this point of view. That's your, so what about it? That's your opinion. And on the surface, the same way. It's very yours. It's very personal. Your surface idea, your opinion. Everybody's entitled to them. That's cool. That's what I want to be respectful of. But I want you to know that your opinion is different from a fact, right? Everybody knows that. It's your opinion, and it's based on other things you put into it, which is where I'm going with this. This is your point of view. And my question really is it truly your values, your perspective, your deep soul, your values? And when I was able to kind of step back and go, yeah, you know what? I really want to do this. I really have to do this. This is really worth my while to really get this figured out. It made my life a million times better. I'm so much happy. I made a decision. I went to that next level based on my true values. They call it authentic living in a truly nerd book that I wrote. That was the 4th book I wrote. And now I'm working on the 7th book and the 8th book because I decided to be an author and a philosopher, a sociologist, and I'm running a test. So this is my question. Because when we get to this 4-level thinking, when we start drawing conclusions, it's a process. This is this 4D process. We take different input sources. We then are adding in another level of thinking, more information. How good are your sources? We start adding our background, our past comes into this drawing conclusions step. Our future, our expectations of what we think should happen mixes into this. And then, so I'm stepping back on this and I'm saying, hello, America, we need help here. And the skill we need help on specifically from an English teacher is drawing conclusions. Because then, if you're drawing bad conclusions based on bad sources, this is the fail part of what I think's happening. In the breakdown of how we've fallen apart, because I want to get to this. This is where I'm at. This is my goal. This is my goal. So dialogue and being able to talk about this stuff is where I'm at. So as a teacher, let's talk about this evaluation criteria here. This is kind of this next step, these expectations. What do you want? What are you thinking? What are you going to judge it by? How do you judge something? And so I set up something, it's kind of like a game show. It's over on the Betrayed by Trump Guide YouTube channel. It's supporting my last book, which is called Betrayed by Trump. Let me come put this here. I'm looking for the teachers, the social workers, the nurses, the people who understand that we're in the middle of a trauma. We need trauma-informed teaching, reteaching, help. So my MAGA compass is on my betrayedbytrump.org webpage. It's the entrance point to really having a conversation with me. On the Betrayed by Trump guide, I've opened it up to being Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Thanks, Saran, for saying goodbye. Come back Tuesday night, okay? Go over to Betrayed by Trump if you're interested in this political rediscovering ourselves with a respectful conversation, with a sort of classroom environment, but I'm keeping it really lighthearted because I'm trying to create a safe space for some really difficult conversations. And it's going to be hard. This is argument analysis. So again, this is me having a moment of my language arts in the morning, my digital media. This is what I'm doing here in my garden. Let me flash back out here for my closing because it take me a minute to get out there. In the afternoon, I'm doing painting and sculptures and decorative arts. You see my giant palm tree out there. So subscribe, follow along, join the channel, all that stuff. Thank you for coming. Please share this with people because I have a really unique situation that I have a solution for. And it's called the Betrayed by Trump Guide. And let's start this conversation because actually it's a dialogue. Everybody has to speak. That's what Nobel says. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 o'clock. All the best from beautiful Puerto Rico. Subscribe. Of course. Thanks. Bye. Love you. Bye.